This is so cool.
So this is Taco Tuesday Girl.
Hey, I know her. This is not boring. I agree with that.
My
Long form, unedited conversation. I love it.
Hello, welcome back to Insanely Chill. I'm gonna start real quick with a message. This is for all my YouTube viewers out there. That's you watching on YouTube right now. Maybe you're eating a meal, or you're on the toilet, having a crap. I'm talking right to you. I want to let you know that I appreciate you for watching this show on YouTube. And I cherish you, in fact. And you hold a very special place in my heart. And in return, I just ask of you one small favor. If you wouldn't mind, A, subscribing to this channel. B, you could even click like on this video if you feel so inclined. If you're shitting right now, there's probably nothing else to do. So I would just... why not? And then what I want you to do is go on Spotify, subscribe on Spotify, rate this 5 stars, and if you feel so inclined, again, maybe give it a little message. Say, gee, oh my, I love this show, and it tickles me pink. Please say that. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching this show. I appreciate it. It's I'm still figuring it out a little bit. I like to kind of think of this, at least endeavors like these, as a kind of Plinko machine, You start in a certain place, you have an aim of where you want to exit, but as it goes down, you kind of learn, it takes its own life, and then you end in a different place than when you started. So I kind of feel like, for example, the last episode with Danny, if you watched that one, I appreciate it. It was a little awkward at times just because I'm not really sure how much I want to ask, or how much I want to aim the show towards being funny or being inspirational or whatever. I really wanted to talk about his marathon, but also, I feel like it was like a wasted opportunity to just kind of fuck around with Danny because he's so funny. So, let me know what you thought, and we're still figuring it out. And anyways, I appreciate that you watched. If you watched the last episode, or you've been watching the last few episodes, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And as I said before, just pop on to all those things and leave a comment and rate and all that stuff, if you wouldn't mind. So, I appreciate you. Now, without further ado, welcome to episode
5
of Insanely Chill. Thank you for joining us. Today, we're going to answer a couple mailbag questions today.
Mm-hmm.
To start it out, I thought it'd be fun to kind of just chill and chat. And then we have the CEO of Liquid Death coming on. And, this is not sponsored or anything. I know I kind of look like a fanboy right now with the fucking Liquid Death thing in the background here, the cutout, and we got the candle up there. And let me just say that I am a fanboy. I'm a fanboy of this company. I'm an investor in it, and I feel lucky to be because the company's killing it. But I'll tell you the story of how that happened. For some reason, they sent me like their hat. This was early in 2021. They sent me their hat, and at this point, my hair was getting longer, and I kind of looked like a shithead all the time. So I was like, I should probably, trucker hats just looked good, I thought. I go back and I see myself now, and I'm like, oh, it didn't really look that good.
I thought it looked okay. You kind of pulled it off.
Who's the guy from 30 Rock that always wore trucker hats?
Yeah, they always had phrases on it each episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
I kind of look like that guy.
That's, he's a stand-up comedian. He's so funny.
He's hilarious.
Judah Friedlander? Judah Friedlander.
Yeah.
So funny.
This was me.
Yeah,
this is what I felt like.
That's quarantine Cody.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, they sent me their hat, and
Lutz. Was it Lutz?
Lutz. Oh,
yeah.
no.
Lutz was somebody else.
No, Lutz was the other white guy.
I don't know.
I don't know what his name was.
Anyways, they sent me their hat, and
Frank.
I started, Frank. I started wearing it all the fucking time. I didn't even really know what Liquid Death was. I just thought the logo was really cool.
Yeah.
Because it was like punk rock and it just like looked metal. So I started wearing the hat around all the time, and then I started seeing the water, and I was like, oh, this is what's on the hat. And I kind of just dove into the whole thing. I was like, this is genius.
Yeah.
It's just water. That's all it is. But it's just marketed in a way that's so funny, and so it's just the antithesis of water. It's like water is the most basic fucking nothing thing ever. And this brand was like making it super hardcore, and I was like, that's so funny. Murder Your Thirst, everything I thought was hilarious about it.
Yeah.
So, and I was wearing the hat in all the videos, and I was like, I'm kind of like, I'm helping them a little bit, putting their brand on, millions of people are watching my videos and they see the logo on the hat. So I was like, maybe I'll reach out and see if I could actually like get involved somehow. So I just cold emailed him. I think I knew someone who knew him, and I just asked for his email and emailed him randomly and was like, hey, I love your brand. I wear your hat in every video. Are you taking investment right now? Like I would love to get involved. And
they were like, hell yeah, Judah Freelander wants to invest.
yeah.
We got him, guys. We got the big one.
Who is this guy? You seen 30 Rock? He's fucking hilarious.
Network TV star.
Yeah, exactly.
Wants to invest.
So he replied and said, actually, Small World used to work with my wife at Fullscreen.
Oh.
She was a senior editor there. And yeah, we used to be like, friends at work, and it was just kind of funny, like Small World. And so he was like, actually, we're raising a round right now. We're fully subscribed, but which means like they have too many people that want to give them money.
Oh, okay.
So it's like they don't really have a reason to take my money.
Yeah.
But he was like, yeah, we'd love to have you involved. And so he basically allowed me, and it was a great investment for me. I mean, it's like since then they've raised over $100 million. I think total they've raised $200 million now. They're valued at $700 million.
Right.
I guess it's one of the fastest growing non-alcoholic beverages of all time.
Yeah.
And it's just water. So what's cool about them is that they're like, it's like a marketing company essentially whose one product is water, but
Right.
they're geniuses when it comes to marketing.
They're some of the funniest ads I've ever seen.
Seriously, like
Yeah.
the ads are ridiculously funny. All
Yeah.
their collabs are hilarious.
Right.
They've done collabs with like Bert Kreischer,
Yeah.
where
Body
they did
by
like
Bert.
Body by Bert, where he was like teaching an aerobics class.
Yeah.
The Martha Stewart collab, that's the candle up there.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Steve-O got like a tattoo on his neck of something. They did a collab with Tony Hawk. I mean, it's just like over and over again, they prove that they're, just a leader in marketing. So I thought it would be cool. Again, like I want to gear this podcast more towards business sometimes. And so I just really love this company. So I thought I'd reach out to the CEO. They actually raised money again, and I was emailing Mike, and I just said, congrats on the raise, saw the news, like that's fucking awesome. And I just was like, do you want to come on the podcast? Just as a random, like, let's see if this works.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, for sure. I'll come on and talk about it. So stoked to have him on today. I think it should be a cool one if you're into marketing, advertising, or business. So that'll be, second half of this episode will be me talking to him. So I'm really stoked to have him on. Let me know what you think. And until then, let's jump into a couple questions. What do you got?
Yeah.
What do we got? How do you guys think the show is going so far?
I was just checking my phone, pretty bored. You're doing great.
Fuck!
Yeah, we lost Ryan already, so
No,
we have
doing great.
2 producers left. Yeah, my grandma texted me and said, "Great job, sweetie." So I think, I think that's a good litmus test of how we're doing.
Your grandma is watching the show.
Yeah, and like I said, we talked about shitting our
Is she
pants.
hot? What's up?
My grandma?
Sorry, what's up? What did you say?
You know what? I'll say it. My grandma is...
No, you don't have to. Please don't say that.
She's a beautiful woman.
Nan. Kenny's Nan.
It's Ma.
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 Kenny's Ma.
Shout out to Barbara.
He's a wonderful human being, and he's helped me so much, and you did great.
She she conveniently left out the part about me shitting my pants. So she was like, "You seem so comfortable up there," and then didn't mention anything else about the episode.
Oh,
I
so
was
you're
like,
not kidding. This really happened.
"This really happened."
Really?
Yeah. You know, that was like my first time on camera,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
online
okay.
like that. So yeah, I got texts from family, but they all left out that portion about how I shit my pants all the time. so yeah, my
It
grandma
would have been funny if one of them was like, "You got that from me,"
Yeah.
and that little thing, that little gene.
Chip off the old block.
Yeah, exactly. That's from your pops.
My dad's probably sitting in his car on the way to work listening to that going, "Fuck, man, he is just like me."
Yeah, I did see a lot of comments on episode 2 of people being like, "Kenny is the man. I love Kenny," and I was like, "Did he?" Not that I don't think you're the man, but I was like,
Well,
they did seem a little bit like your friends. Did you send it out to people? And
I sent it to my friends. There were a few friends that commented, but there were several that were not
Just
related
organic.
to me at all. Organically,
That's fucking
commented.
awesome. I never get that. You're way ahead of me already.
Yeah. Let's change.
Yeah, what is that like?
Let's change this to Kenny Murphy right here.
Yeah, exactly.
It was cool. So, I will continue to shit my pants. So we have talking points for future episodes, and I think it's going pretty well so far, man.
Yeah,
We're cruising.
it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah,
It's been a lot of fun doing these.
yeah,
Getting together here and just kind of hanging.
Yeah.
It does feel like a mixture of what Insanely Chill used to be, and how our podcast's presence has evolved to these days.
right.
Where it's like, in a big room and you got a set and everything. It feels like a nice little medium, a happy medium.
Yeah,
So I'm happy with it. It's been great.
yeah. And the comments are all like, "Wow, it is a bigger production, but it does feel just as chill." So I think that's what we were going for, and that's a big success, I think.
Yeah.
Up to this point. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. The first question is from Maddie Too Clean. What comedian/actor has had the greatest impact on your sense of humor?
Jesus. I don't know.
All right, next question. Great. What was your...
I never know how to answer those questions where it should be fucking obvious.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think the question inherently puts a lot of pressure on you to say the right answer.
Nope.
Who did you watch a lot growing up is probably a better way to say it.
Right.
Again,
You don't know who you watched growing up?
I mean, who did you watch growing up?
I watched a lot of... Damn, now that you put me on the spot. No, I
It's
watched,
hard.
No,
I watched a lot of everything. There wasn't that one. I never had that like one person that was like my beacon of like inspiration in terms of like my artistry. Because I also never really saw myself as an artist. I think like really creative right brain people, it's like they look up to somebody because they resonate with that person. But for me, it was always like tech, Steve Jobs, entrepreneurship. Like that's what really inspired me. So, I was definitely one of the kids that like looked up to like Steve Jobs and stuff like that. But yeah, in terms of like comedy and stuff,
Regis Philbin, probably. That was the answer when you asked me. I was like, I watched a lot of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire when I was a kid.
So did I.
Oh.
Yeah, Jeff Probst.
Yeah, exactly. Jeff Probst.
That guy's a
Julie
hilarious
Chen.
comedian. Yeah.
Julie Chen from Big Brother. And now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. Guys, therapy has really helped me over the last year. I've never used therapy before that, and Lord knows I needed it, but I didn't really know how much it would, matter, or how much of an effect it would have on me until I started going to a therapist. And, for me, it's been a really helpful just way to hear what's going on in my own head. And I think once you do that and you talk to somebody and they kind of help you digest what you're thinking, it can really help you make sense of it. A therapist can help you become a better problem solver, making it easier to accomplish your goals, no matter how big or small. BetterHelp is online therapy done right. It's convenient, accessible, affordable, and entirely online. When you want to be a better problem solver, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/chill today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/chill. And again, with BetterHelp, you can, switch therapists at any time if you want. You can even just chat with them if you don't want to see anyone on video. So it's really flexible, and it's a really, easy way to get into therapy, and more cost effective as well. So once again, that's BetterHelp.com/chill, and you'll get 10% off your first month.
Yeah, it's also tough, like, naming names, because when you answer a question like that, people expect that to be, that's like you saying, well, I watched a lot of Jim Carrey growing up, so people will think like, oh, so you think you're Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
You think you're that fucking funny?
Yeah.
Like, there's pressure there,
Yeah.
also naming who you liked.
I will say, when I started doing YouTube, one person that I watched all the time that I looked up to, I guess, was Filthy Frank, Joji.
Yeah.
And it's just because, like, I mean, his videos were just chaos.
Mm-hmm.
They were such a crazy art form, so unique, unlike anything I've ever seen before, and with so much effort
Yeah.
put into these things. They just stood apart. And so, I was a fan of his videos. They were just so insane. But then also, like, him as an artist as well. He wasn't just like a YouTuber. He also made music, like, as Pink Guy, and his melodies and his production was always, like, really unique and amazing. Like, he just had something different, So I was really drawn to him in the beginning, and I really looked up to the fact that he did, like, multiple things. And now, I mean, it's just, now his whole music career as Joji is just further proof that he is, like, so special as an artist. So really, I definitely looked up to him as I was starting YouTube.
Yeah.
Actually, I met him one time.
No way.
Yeah, Rich Brian.
Mhm.
When he played his very first show, it was at the Roxy, right? Yeah, the Roxy, I believe. And he flew from Indonesia to LA to do this show, I believe. And we went out for wings or something. There's a picture on my Instagram where me and Rich Brian, like, went out to I took him to Hooters for lunch.
What went into that decision?
You got to see this.
Dude, I found this spot.
Yeah. I found this little hole in the wall spot in LA. You're gonna love it. No, but I was like, it'd be funny, like, for him to see Hooters, I guess. I don't know. He's, like, never been to America, so. But then he played his first show, and I went and saw it. And after the show, this is when he was, like, I think this is when he first signed to 88 Rising, I believe. And I think Joji was also Joji by this point. I'm not really sure. But anyways, they knew each other, and he was in the green room, and I just was like, oh my God. I just kind of was, like, fangirling a little bit.
Wow. And
he
you don't
said
do
what
that
up to
very
me.
often,
And
right?
no.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Look at this. Fanboying today.
Yeah. Well, that's sponsored branded content. This
Yes,
is legally
exactly. I am paid for this. No, I'm kidding. I'm not. Was it? Oh, right there.
Oh. Wow.
This is in 2017.
Make my cameo.
I was a
man.
big fan. I was a big fan of Brian from Twitter, and when he started making music, I was into his music too. And he's actually one of the people that inspired me to start making music.
Oh, no way.
Yes, it was him. Because I went over to his apartment, and he pulled up his computer and pulled up Fruity Loops, or FL Studio now it's called, and started playing me a bunch of beats that he made. And I was like, "You made these? You just sat down and made these?"
Yeah.
And I was blown away. And he was like, "Yeah, it was really good." And I was like, "Man, that is so inspiring." He was like, I don't even know how old he was at the time.
Yeah.
And another person, I know I'm just, like, fucking rambling right now, but
good.
I actually wanted to tell Danny this yesterday, and I forgot. He was the other person that inspired me to start making music.
You talked about that on his original Insanely Chill
Oh, I did.
episode.
Okay,
Well,
good.
maybe not inspired, but, like, you guys, I think he talked about somebody had, like, a help me out with the phrasing of this, but it's like a beat package or something. Like, like a sample package, and he bought somebody's and just started making music off of that. And you can tell how intrigued you were by it.
Well, because he was making comedy music at that point.
Yeah.
And, it just seemed like a really intimidating thing, super complex. In college, I had downloaded Ableton a couple times and tried to make a beat.
Yeah.
But was just so lost in all the fucking buttons and the process. I had no, like, dude, opening up a blank DAW is the most intimidating thing ever because it's just knobs and buttons and terminology everywhere that you have no idea what anything means.
Yeah.
You know?
Steep learning curve.
It's so steep.
Yeah.
And I did that in college a couple times. I would open it up, and actually this is relevant to this. When I was a DJ in college,
Right.
I was like, well, I'm a DJ. I should probably start making music because otherwise I'm just a DJ and I feel like kind of a fraud.
Right.
So I would download Ableton, open it up. I would look and it's like knobs for, EQs and all these acronyms. I had no idea what they stood for. I still don't know what EQ stands for.
Equalizer.
Equalizer.
Oh my God.
Knobs at, dB. What is that? Decibel.
Decibel. Yeah.
Mm.
MIDI?
It's an acronym for. I used to know it.
Mother's
Something digital interface.
dentist. Yes, that would make more sense.
Institutions.
Digital interface. It's music is filled with acronyms.
Yeah.
And
And now you're making fart songs.
low end,
Internet.
high end.
Yeah.
Low end. What's that? Ass.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Oh hell yeah.
The higher you turn
low
the
end. I'm into those. Now you're speaking my language.
the higher you turn the knob, the more people want to shake their ass to the song.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's why it's called low end.
Yeah. It's a great
High
feature. they built
pass.
in.
There's so many things. You open this thing and it's just all like whatever. So both times I just closed it, uninstalled Ableton. I was like, this is not for me. I'm not cut out for this. I'm not man enough for this. And then I went over to Danny's place one time and he pulled up one of his, again, he like pulled up. I was like, what's making music like? How do you do it?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, dude, he pulled up one of his sessions and he played me this comedy song that he was making. And it was like, 5 tracks, pretty simple. He showed me how to make a beat. And that happened right before the Jake Paul video came out.
Oh, okay.
So I was
Yeah.
like, I had seen that and I had seen Rich Brian. And I was like, God, this is really, I know these guys,
Mhm.
They are smart and gifted in their own ways, but I just felt like I was friends with these guys. They're making content just like me. I was like, oh, if I could probably figure this out. And so then when we did that Jake Paul video, that's why I opened up FL Studio and I started making that beat, and that turned into Keep Your Dick Fat. And then since then, I've been
Wow. Oh my God.
making stuff. So
That's wild.
I say all that to say I'm not saying my DJ name.
Oh, you're not going to reveal that
No,
here
because
today?
it's horrendously embarrassing. It is worse than you could imagine. What do you think it would be? Guess. DJ.
DJ Low End. Fatty Low End.
No, honestly, that's a good name.
Should we do that? Should we rebrand Cody into DJ Low End?
Maybe.
I mean, the fart song you made in under an hour, you are a seasoned DJ.
No, that's my new name. The Absolute Fart Man.
Yes, the fart man, yeah.
Which, by the way, that song.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys know what we're talking about?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of DJ names for you now.
Yeah.
What it could have been.
Colo DJ.
I was going to say Colo. DJ Colo.
Oh, yeah.
Colo DJ.
Colo DJ?
Colo DJ.
Colo
That's
DJ.
good. Colo DJ.
That's horrible.
Colo G.
I'll tell you what it was. I'll tell you guys what it was. Do you know what it is? What my DJ name in college was? Okay, just bleep it. It was DJ.
No
That
way,
is
dude.
the worst.
Ricky, do not
fucking
bleep that at all.
name.
No, bleep
That's
it
staying
because,
in.
because I'm planning this video where
Yeah.
I might like say what it was. And
Oh,
so I want
okay.
to use that as like a piece in it. But
Yeah.
Are there videos
Dude, that's
where
10
that
out
was
of 10.
introduced?
what, a video?
Like where they like introduce you like seriously?
No, I never like played a show or anything like that. It was just like frat parties, and I would get booked at like local bars.
Did
People
you
are
have
just
a
calling you that
poster
around
out in front
campus?
of your DJ booth? It says DJ. We'll bleep that one.
I never liked the name. It was never. I didn't. One of my like frat brothers was like, I was like looking for a DJ name, and he just started calling me that, and then it stuck. Everyone started like it just was one of those things where everyone just then knew me as that.
That's
Man.
awful.
And I know, and then it's just I couldn't change it.
Oh, man.
So, is that the idea?
Don't say that.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta cut that.
Okay.
Bleep that.
All right. We'll cut that out.
No, people will find out what it is eventually.
This is a good question. This is so to kind of piggyback off of this question. People just wanted to know in general what you did to stay like alert with music while you're running, so you don't want to kill yourself with boredom. what mindset are you taking yourself to, or what are you listening to?
I'm of the opinion that music is cheating.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
I think David Goggins says that.
Does he really?
I think
That's
someone
so
told me one
hardcore.
time that he says that.
Yeah, he does. I saw him on Rogan say that.
Yeah, does he?
Yeah.
So he just raw dogs it.
Yeah.
I've done a couple like that. Like last week, my headphones died. And so
Ooh.
I went on a 12-mile run, I'm pretty sure. Just completely just me and my sick thoughts. Whole time just thinking. It's actually not as bad as you think because you do kind of, you're forced to get into that flow state.
Mm-hmm.
And you do end up just thinking. And you get lost in your own thoughts. And then, you look at your watch and you've done another like 4 miles.
Oh, okay.
There's actually,
Yeah.
your body adapts for sure. I do prefer, when I'm running these days, I do prefer music. Podcasts just like aren't enough entertainment for me. They like it's almost worse than not listening to anything.
Uh-huh.
And even when I put a podcast on, I'll notice that I'll just drown it out. And I'll just use it as like ambient talking. And I won't actually listen to what they're saying.
Yeah.
Unless it's a really good episode. Like there was one I listened to
Brooke and
a couple
Connor
days ago.
podcast.
Yeah, if it's, for example, Brooke and Connor make a podcast, or it's Trillionaire Mindset, or
Foul
it's
Tip.
Foul Tip, or it's 8 Ball Special, or TMG, or even Insanely Chill.
Mm.
Actually, that's not even a joke. I listened to the Jimmy episode.
Did you really? And you're running. Great point, Cody.
Yeah. God, you're handsome. And so funny. And fucking hot, too.
Your voice is drip.
God. No, I sometimes I like to listen, especially if it's a guest I really like. I like
Yeah.
to listen to my own episodes because A, it makes me think about what to do better.
Oh, okay.
And B, if it's a guest I like, I kind of forget sometimes when we're in conversation because I'm always worried about like whether or not it's entertaining.
Yeah.
It's always nice to actually listen to it. And
Mhm.
like I found myself laughing a lot at the stuff that Jimmy was saying. And I was like, God, I was thinking about jokes that I should have said.
That's the worst feeling, dude.
It's fine because again, like it just helps me be better for next time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I said, these days it's for the most part it's music because it just really helps me stay entertained and give me
Yeah.
that. It helps me achieve runner's high.
Yeah.
Whenever I have like one song that I'm really into, I'll play it on loop for the entire 10 miles.
Really?
Yes, swear to God.
That's the most insane shit. Wait, so that's like
And
how many
the,
times
and
does
the
it
most
play through?
recent one was Last by Burna Boy.
Okay.
That song, I just literally had it on repeat for 10 miles. And
Yeah.
I had runner's high the entire time.
And you knew all the lyrics by the end of the 10 miles.
I didn't, which is kind of embarrassing.
It's
but
like
that's
almost an hour and a half, right?
yeah.
That's
yeah.
insane.
But it doesn't. It goes by. I don't know. I also do that thing where I'm like, oh, I know how long the song is. So if I listen to it 3 times, that's another 10 minutes. So I use it as like markers.
That's psycho behavior.
Yeah.
I
that
mean,
might-
you
that might
really
be
like
psycho.
you kind of have to do crazy shit like this. You have to find your like craziness in order to do this stuff. I think. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
What other I'm interested though. What other stuff do you listen to?
Yeah.
Like, what type of music are you listening to besides that on your long runs?
I mean, it's a lot of music in that style.
Burna Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like African music, Afrobeat. I really, really like it. It just gives me like a crazy energy.
That'd be fun to run to, I think.
Yeah,
Wow. Yeah.
it is. But also, like, I'll just listen. I have a playlist called Good Ass Songs that I just, every time I like a song, I'll add it to that. So I'll sometimes I'll just play that. Or on Fridays, I'll listen to my release radar. So just like all the new music.
Oh, yeah.
I
I just thought of something. What if we had the fans, we created an empty Spotify playlist for you to run to, and then we have the fans throw in music for you. And you run your 10 miles for the day, and you report back which your favorite songs were, which ones sucked, which ones got you through and gave you endorphins and things like that.
You're just opening yourself up to
I feel like people would end up
be on
trolling me.
TMG.
You'd probably get a lot of Absolute Fart Man in there.
Yeah, my own
it's
song.
not-
It's just the Jimmy episode of Insanely Chill over and over and over again. Hey guys, when you use the bathroom, you close the door behind you, right? I mean, if you don't, you're a freak. And it's really inappropriate, and you should probably do that. You don't leave it open and go, I'm pooping, do you? Because that would be weird. Listen, you don't want random passersby looking in on you. So why would you want people looking in on you when you go online? Using the internet without ExpressVPN, the sponsor of today's episode, is like going to the bathroom and not closing the door. Did you know that your internet service provider knows every single website you've been to? Every single one. They see it. And what's worse, they can take that information and sell it to ad companies and tech giants who will use your data to target you for more websites that they'll see you go to, and they'll sell that data too. It's inception. Not anymore with ExpressVPN. They put a stop to this. It creates a secure encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet so that your online activity can't be seen by anyone. I use ExpressVPN on all my devices. It works on everything, phones, laptops, even routers. So everyone who shares your Wi-Fi can still be protected even if they don't have ExpressVPN. It's the best. I use it to watch Netflix shows that are not available in my country, but maybe available somewhere else. You can, change your location. And the best part is using ExpressVPN is as easy as closing the bathroom door. You just fire up the app, click one button, and you're protected. ExpressVPN is the world's #1 rated VPN by Mashable, The Verge, and countless others. So if you're like me and you believe your online activity is your business, secure yourself by visiting expressvpn.com/insane today. Use my exclusive link, expressvpn.com/insane, and you can get a free extra 3 months free. That's expressvpn.com/insane.
When I'm lifting, I have to listen to like West Side Gun or Benny the Butcher.
Yeah.
I got to get in that headspace, that killer headspace. The boom bap stuff really does it for me.
Yeah.
I get amped.
Yeah,
But
great.
Yeah, I can't do anything lower energy than that now.
Yeah.
I'm like addicted to that pacing of music.
Yeah.
I just turned into a different guy in the gym, man. All right.
What about you guys?
Yeah, what do you listen to?
I listen to NF.
Okay, the rapper?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. He does a lot of like, he has a song called The Search, which is just like him. It's just like super motivating. Or like, I don't know, most of his songs are just like super motivating rap.
Yeah.
So I end up putting a lot of, lately I've been listening to, I told you about Connor Price.
Yeah.
I think you added him whenever we were out. And
I DM'd him,
Oh, really?
actually. Yeah, because people have been saying forever that we look alike.
yeah.
And so I added him on Instagram and DM'd him. Or I think he reached out to me first and was like, I forget. But I was basically like, I was like my long lost brother. Like, finally good to talk to you. But so like, I had seen him. Zach, what do you listen to, first of all?
Just when I work out, or just
Yeah,
in
or when you
general?
run. You're running again, right?
Yeah, I like to listen to alternative rap. So
Nice.
like J. Cole, Kendrick,
Okay, yeah.
stuff like that.
Nice.
Well, guys, we're going to jump on. Well, I will say, first of all, just to finish this point, Connor Price, when we were golfing, you were like, you got to check out Connor Price. He's blowing up right now, blah, blah, blah. And so I popped onto his page and I realized I've definitely seen him before. It's because people tagging me in his videos, being like, this guy's you. And, but I will say I'm really invested in his series, in the
Globe thing?
Globe series. Yeah.
Really good.
It's crazy. It's like, I mean, I love to see people that are just like grinding to make it work. And then when they strike gold like that, it's so fantastic
He's
to
blowing
see.
up. He's got a song called Straight A's, which I run to a lot. I think it's really good. So people should
So-
check that out.
Yeah, so basically his story is he's like an independent artist, and through TikTok has been making TikToks for like years and has been making music for a while too, but just recently started this series where he like spins a globe, lands his finger on it, and then picks an artist from that country and collabs on a song. And now he's released 3 of those, all within like 6 weeks or something. But the first episode of that got like 45 million views or something insane on TikTok. So now every successive one, whatever, every one after that, now it's just generating millions of views, and because of that, his songs are getting millions of streams the week that they come out. It's fucking crazy. He's got like 6 million monthly listeners on Spotify or something crazy within like a month. This has happened, so he's literally struck gold. It's crazy, and for some reason, congrats to him. It's amazing. Like, as an independent artist, that's really, really hard to do, but it's also, I'm invested in this series. Every time he comes out with a new one, I'm like, oh, what's it going to sound like?
Maybe it'll land on Venice Beach and he'll.
Yeah.
Cody, Co! What's up?
And I just botch it.
Never mind. We'll find someone else.
He lands on Canada. He's like, Canada? Let's see. Okay, guys. Thanks for listening to the first half of this episode. Appreciate it. We're going to jump on with the CEO of Liquid Death now. And maybe afterwards we'll do a little post-mortem. Mike, can you hear me?
Yo, yeah.
What's up, dude?
How you doing, man?
Good. You?
Good.
Thanks for popping on.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. It's awesome.
And congrats on all the recent success. It's
Thank
been
you.
fucking awesome to see. I was, I don't know if you can see the cutout back
I
here,
can
and we
see
got
it.
the candle up there. So for the people that, I mean, I know you've probably told the story 1,000 times by now, but for my audience who probably doesn't know the story of Liquid Death, like how did it start? And, when did you first like feel like you had traction with the brand?
So yeah, we started selling the first cases of Liquid Death back in like late January 2019. But it was Liquid Death as a brand started probably a year and a half earlier, where I had this idea to start, a healthy beverage company that was marketed in the same way that unhealthy beverages are marketed.
Right.
So like all the funniest ad campaigns most people remember are like Bud Light, Doritos, Snickers, Red Bull, like it's all alcohol and junk food, does all the cool, funny marketing. And then kind of decided that water made a ton of sense because it was sort of the healthiest thing you could drink. Most people don't drink enough of it. It was like the biggest beverage category, bottled water. It was actually bigger than soda, and it passed soda, I think, in 2017 or 18. So I'm like, oh, wow, it's a huge market for this. It's all marketed the same kind of boring way. Everybody drinks water. We were starting to see the first articles around plastic being this huge issue.
Mhm.
Like, big companies were pledging to get rid of plastic bottles. Like plastic was almost becoming like the new tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
And we started thinking about like, putting it in a tall boy can. They're infinitely recyclable. It's a better alternative than plastic. It just looks cool. It feels cool. So we kind of had this idea for Liquid Death, this tall boy of water. But because the idea was so stupid, nobody was going to like invest money in the idea.
Right.
It was like, oh, that's never going to work. Retailers will never put it on the shelf. It's just going to be confusing to people because it looks like beer. So I had to basically use social media to prove out that it could be a viable idea. So we made a Facebook page, no Instagram, no Twitter, just Facebook. I came up with this funny idea for a Liquid Death commercial that we shot for like $1,500. A friend of my wife's who's an actress, she was cool to like star in it. And then, we put the video on Facebook. We did a couple funny like social posts with this 3D render of a Liquid Death can. It just made it seem like it was a real company.
So you didn't even have like a simple like MVP or anything. Like you
Nothing,
didn't have a real
because
canned water.
Yeah, you can't just go buy a can at the store and put water in it. It's like you have to use like a huge canning facility. The minimums on cans, I think, were like 250,000 cans is the minimum amount of cans you can buy. So yeah, all of a sudden, if you just want to do anything with a can, I mean, you're talking $250,000 just for the product and doing nothing else.
Yeah. And then if that doesn't work, you got to drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
You're stuck with 250,000 canned waters.
You got to rent some storage units at that point.
Yeah, or you're getting sued by some warehouse that's like, come get this shit.
Yeah. Or you just work out a ton and just drink a shit ton of water.
Yeah.
Get really hydrated.
But yeah, so that was how it started. And then, the video ended up after a few months having like 3 million views. The page had like 80,000 followers, which at the time was more than Aquafina had on Facebook. And we had just like hundreds of comments and messages of people being like, this is the coolest thing ever. Where do I get this? Is this real? We're a distributor in New York. Can we talk to a salesperson? So I use all that traction to then actually go raise a small round of funding to actually produce like a minimum run of product.
So because just because your marketing is so great, is that kind of what the emphasis is on internally? Is like how much time do you spend on like R&D or like researching, new SKUs of flavors for water? Because I know now you have still sparkling, and then you have the 3 flavors as well. Like how much time are you spending just marketing the current product, trying to build that as much as you can, and how much time are you guys spending like trying to launch new stuff?
It's a balance. You know, we've been very surgical where we had only plain still water in a can for an entire year. And then we did plain sparkling water in a can for an entire year. And then when we launched flavors, we didn't launch 10 flavors like LaCroix, we launched 3.
Right.
And then, next year we're going to launch just 1 more flavored sparkling, but we're also going to be launching Liquid Death iced tea next year, actually.
What?
No way.
That's sick.
Yeah.
So is the iced tea going to be the same thing where it's like agave, or it's
Yeah,
like
a
less
little bit
sugar
of agave,
than
like 30 calories.
That's
but
awesome.
Way different than like the Arizona that's got 70 milligrams of sugar in it.
I do like those, but they kind of fuck your day up.
Yeah.
a little bit.
Sugar's at the bottom. You got to shake those things.
I like root beer too. I like brownie sundaes, but I can't eat them 3 times a day.
Yeah. Yeah. Most times when I have a brownie sundae for breakfast, my day after that is kind of shot.
Goes down hard.
Yeah. So what's your, like, you have a history in advertising though, right? You worked for Netflix, I think.
It's so funny. That's like this weird thing that isn't necessarily true. That started really press articles. But basically, I worked for an advertising agency in LA, and one of our clients was Netflix.
I see.
So
you just worked on like a campaign.
Yeah.
See.
When I was doing research on you, all these articles were like, he was a creative director at Netflix and stuff. So I think that's where that came from.
There was a recent one. I think there's like some French article that just popped up, and they're like, director at Netflix.
Oh, wow. Dude, keep moving up the ranks. Soon you'll be CEO.
Yeah.
We should start that rumor right now, actually.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm currently talking to the CEO of Netflix. Guys, a quick word from our sponsor, Stamps.com. Listen, preparing for the holiday season can be a wee bit stressful. It's always chaotic. Everything gets busy. There's so many social events, but then again, there's so many people you want to buy gifts for, and maybe when you want to ship things out to people. Listen, right now with seasonal excitement or dread, it's really starting to set in, right? Especially for small businesses. Slaying through traffic to the post office, inbox more like a blizzard than a winter wonderland. Rushing to send cards and gifts to your loyal clients. It's not too late to get your holiday mailing and shipping under control with Stamps.com. Sign up now and you'll be printing your own postage in minutes. Stamps.com is your one-stop shop for all your shipping and mailing needs. For more than 20 years, Stamps.com has been indispensable for over 1 million businesses. Get access to the USPS and UPS services you need to run your business right from your computer. No lines, no traffic, no hassle. Even save money with major discounts on USPS and UPS shipping rates up to 86% off. This holiday season, trade late nights for silent nights. Nice. I like what they did with that one. And get started with Stamps.com today. Sign up with the promo code INSANE for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a free digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click the microphone at the top of the page, and enter the code INSANE. I guess the next question I wanted to ask you was, what is your favorite marketing campaign that you guys have worked on? Like out of all the campaigns, like, your Super Bowl commercial or any of the collabs that you've done, with Bird or Tony Hawk or whatever, which is your favorite? Which do you think was the most effective?
Well, one of the most effective was the Tony Hawk campaign, and probably one of my favorite, because I grew up, when I was 6 years old and my parents asked me what I wanted to do, like I told them I want to draw skateboards. Like I was into skateboarding, got my first skateboard in 1989. It was a Tony Hawk board. I actually have the graphic tattooed on my side. It was the first skateboard I ever got at like 8 years old or whatever. So yeah, being able to like have Tony come in as an investor and then be so down to do this really funny, dumb idea where he's actually going to let us take his blood and film it. That I think was probably one of my favorite, and it just did so well as a campaign. Like it just blew up the internet. And then Lil Nas X commented on the campaign, and then it had a whole other viral sort of wave after that. So that was it. But then the other one that I probably enjoyed making the most was our very first animated commercial, where
Okay.
it was like the cartoon where there's like the thirst murderer guy that's like murdering all these thirsts for 40 straight seconds or however long it is. Because that I got to work with this guy Will Carsola, who created that show Mr. Pickles on Adult Swim.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we worked with him and their animation studio to create that. And he was already an investor and kind of like almost like a creative partner with me in the early days of Liquid Death. We still work with him now. And, the animation studio was kind of down to do us a favor because it was Will, and they were already producing Mr. Pickle. So they could just kind of do this as like a side thing fairly easily. And we got it for a great deal. But just be able to go through that whole process of making a cartoon was so cool to me.
That's really cool. I will say the only time I've ever been legitimately starstruck in LA is when I saw Tony Hawk at dinner one time, like at the table beside me, and I freaked the fuck out. I couldn't even like speak. Like that to me, I feel like everyone, how old are you?
I just turned 40.
Okay, yeah. So I guess like everyone 30 to 40 years old, it's like that is your childhood.
Yeah.
Is Tony
Yeah.
Hawk, Tony Hawk's Pro Skaters. Like skateboarding was everything to me. Do you still skate?
Oh yeah, I skate at Tony's. Like I try to skate like every other week.
Damn, okay.
First name basis.
Tony's.
You go to his
Tony's.
house and you skate?
He's not there a lot of the time. It's more like from going there, like I've made friends with like Andy McDonald, who's always skating there. And like, it's like, I got onto this thing where like, I want to get better at skating vert.
Yeah.
Cause I feel like it's like the natural old man progression of skateboarding. Like
Right.
you can't skate street
Yeah.
and handrails when you're fucking 40.
Yeah.
So I want to get better at vert. So I've been going down, and Andy Mack has been like, being super cool, teaching me kind of, little things. But like, yeah, it's fun now. I can drop in on the vert ramp and,
And this is at his house? He's got a...
No, at his office. He's
Oh,
got
gotcha,
like,
okay.
yeah, he's got like a big warehouse office thing. It's like that main vert ramp that you see them filming on all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really fucking cool. I bet you would have never thought when you had this idea that seems stupid at the get-go that it would be your doorway to skateboarding with Tony Hawk one day.
Never.
That really is wild. Can you talk shit about bottled water? Like, what are your least favorites? Can you rank them? Because personally, I think Dasani is the worst.
That's got to be number one on the worst
Liquid
list.
Death is my favorite water now. Dasani is the bottom of the list
Yeah.
for sure.
Do you guys see the tattoo we posted yesterday on Instagram?
No, I didn't see that. You want to?
Yeah, I'll pull that up.
Someone got an actual tattoo of a Liquid Death can that says "Death Before Dasani."
No way.
And then we congratulated Dasani on their first fan tattoo.
Oh wow.
That's good. Because you guys have had a bunch of people tattoo the brand or the logo on them, right?
That we know of who have posted and tagged us, like over 300 people have gotten Liquid Death tattoos now.
That's nuts. I mean, I just resonated with me so much at the beginning, and the reason why I reached out and everything, and the reason why I like the brand so much is because, like, I've always worked on simple, stupid ideas like this. Like, I had a gift card company that I started with a friend that was like, we were teaching ourselves how to code backend software or whatever. So we wrote this website where you could go on, and for $5, you could send a greeting card to anyone in the world. It would ship anywhere. And it would say, hey, on the front. And then you open it, it would say, fuck you, in really tiny letters. And the service was called Hey. And we had like tens of thousands of customers. And then we did another one called Mean Mugs, where there's this mugs that said, fuck you, or like worst boss, or like worst ass, or whatever. It was just all really mean mugs. And that worked really well too for like a year. We sold a ton of those too. So I don't know, to me, like, seeing this brand in the beginning, I was like, oh my God, this is I just love simple, really digestible ideas like this because they can just turn into something so much more,
And even with those ideas you mentioned, like the reason for it being funny, weird jokes are not new to the internet.
Right.
Like that's what the internet's built on. Like these funny memes, these weird, creative ideas that don't feel like they're from a corporation. They feel like it's like an individual weirdo person that gets to put their thing out there. But all of those things tend to be digital things because anybody can create a Photoshop image. Anybody can, make a video and post it. What's weird is when the internet brain starts making physical objects.
Right.
Because typically physical objects are hard. Like you have to figure out manufacturing, shipping logistics, like warehousing, like all this shit that weird creative people typically don't want to fuck around with. So when the people do take the time to make these physical things, people I think are so amazed because it's like, oh, this thing doesn't seem like it's supposed to exist.
Right.
No company with a boardroom would have made this, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's an interesting thing, I think, just moving forward. And we've even seen it with our merch. It's like we started out selling t-shirts and sweatshirts, but we started selling those fucking cardboard cutouts for $75 a piece, and people were buying them. It's like, oh, like turn weird internet ideas into physical things. And I think people they really like it and they want to collect them or they want to buy them or they want to have them. It feels special, I guess.
This guy's also a Halloween costume now, for those that, that don't know.
Is he really?
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah. I also wanted to say my favorite piece of merch you guys have put out was the campaign where you had a 6-year-old draw the Liquid Death logo and signage. It was so funny. It's misspelled. The skull's all fucked up. It's hilarious. I mean, everything you guys make is so funny.
Yeah, that was actually, it was my 6-year-old nephew. My brother was like, hey, Dominic drew you something. And it was like that shitty Liquid Death can. And I was like, oh my God, I was like, we have to make this into something. And then we kind of made that whole thing where we legitimately paid him the same amount that we would pay any other artist that we commissioned to do a t-shirt.
You paid your 6-year-old cousin?
He's going
creative
out,
director.
Yeah, seriously. I have one last question for you. Have you seen the TikTok of that girl describing why you should not drink Liquid Death because it affects the tinctures in the water or the...
She suggests that the negative labeling actually changes the molecular structure into something negative that you shouldn't be putting in your body because it's killing a living thing.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, well, yeah. So there was this completely bogus study that was done, which we found out after the fact. There's this other guy who was kind of calling this out, saying this guy who did this study saying that negative images and pictures can affect the molecular structure of water. Someone offered him $1 million to replicate the study, and he didn't respond. Like,
Oh, wow. Okay.
so I mean, of course, it's horseshit. But some people do believe it. And this guy, this Equinox instructor, made a petition on change.org to remove Liquid Death from stores.
Okay.
And he lists why. Because these negative images, these negative words on water affect the molecular structure. And it's like, so what languages does water speak? Does it understand sarcasm? Would it understand emojis? And we of course posted the petition on Instagram, talking about it. It was
Please
probably-
sign this.
Yeah, it was like
We
one
are
of the best
destroying
things for me to
society.
do.
The guy's
Right.
got a point.
There is like a lot of talk right now, at least about like devil worship and like Satanist marketing and how you should never play into that sort of stuff. I do think that's kind of funny because it is like the whole thing, at least the whole thing feels like tongue in cheek, right? And it's also it's also just like metal branding. This is what it's always been, and punk rock and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it was never supposed to be cool for punk rock people. It was just supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
And branding water in a metal way is just funny.
Yeah.
You don't have to like metal to know that it's funny, you know. Branding anything healthy in this tongue-in-cheek aggressive way is just funny.
Yeah.
And that's more what it's about. Like we don't take ourselves seriously. We don't actually think we're extreme or any of that.
Well, dude, it's been an honor. Thank you for coming on and chatting about Netflix and being the CEO of Netflix. It's just really cool to sit down with you. No, really, it's been awesome. As I said, I'm a big fan of the company. I'm just happy to be involved, even a tiny bit. So it was cool to chat with you. I'm glad you came on.
No, it's awesome. And I think it's so cool, you know, you have a little bit of a similar story about like you were kind of working as like a marketing guy and you sort of figured out your thing that you wanted to do and found a ton of success there too. And I talk about that a lot, that I think there's a lot of creative, talented people in the marketing world that are stuck doing bullshit client-y stuff. And it's like, if you can just find the way to harness that into something that makes you money to get out of it, like, I think it's a really cool thing.
I was actually a software engineer, but you're right. I did like my whole thing, at least in the company before, one of the first companies I worked at, my whole thing was like generating apps, like writing apps that would just generate traffic. Because I worked for an ad network. So like my whole thing was like, I have to generate as much traffic. So I just was making these like viral apps that were basically marketing campaigns. They were just, how do we get people to download this and think it's funny? So like, you know, I would work on stupid shit. Like I wrote one of the first face swapping apps, or I wrote this app that would like take a picture from your camera roll or whatever and put a squirrel in front of it and then blur the background as if like an animal jumped up in front of the lens. And you could change the animal, like you could make it a pug or like, you know, like whatever. So that was my job for like 2 years. I was just writing these stupid apps, and I was writing code, but I was still like being creative. So it was cool being able to take those things and kind of turn that into a more of like a, you know, creative right brain career. So yeah, you're right.
No, that's awesome. Well, maybe we have to collab on some really ridiculous.
I would love to. I would love to.
Awesome.
All right, man. Thanks.
All right,
Appreciate
thanks,
it.
guys.
Thanks, Mike.
Take care.
Hey, guys.
That was great. Good to chat with him.
Yeah, really interesting.
Yeah, it is, right?
Yeah, he's like the perfect intersection of like his background coming to the head of like perfecting his brand just from his years of experience.
Yeah.
As the CEO of Netflix and as a punk rocker.
And by the way, I know I'm going to get comments on this that are like, oh my God, they paid you for this. You sold out. This is one big ad. I know I'm going to get comments like that. And I can assure you I was not paid for this.
Yeah.
One of the podcasts that I listen to all the time is How I Built This. It was one of the first like business-like podcasts that I started listening to.
Yeah.
And what really got me interested in building a business myself. And I mean, you know, I'm not claiming that I can do anything like Guy Raz. He's a fucking legend. But I do, as I listen to that show, I'm like, what could my own version of this be? And I feel like this is my first step in sort of that direction, is getting better at interviewing people that are running businesses that I really resonate with. And this is one of those. So
yeah,
this is not a sponsored thing at all. I want you to know this is I'm genuinely interested in this story. And it was really cool speaking with him. And
what a cool guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. We didn't really do that many mailbag questions, but I think it was good, right?
Time. Yeah, we'll get him next time.
That was a solid episode.
I think so.
Yeah, sound off in the comments. Let me know what you think. What?
They're going to let us know in the comments if we did okay.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
They're going to say, we want more Zach. That's what they're going to say next time.
Can you say something?
More me?
Yeah. There we go. Got him. All right.
Oh, when he said more me at the end. Thank you guys for joining us. I forgot to plug the socials at the start, but please go follow us on TikTok, Instagram. We got both of those up and running. What are they?
Oh boy. They are not Liquid Death.
Insanely Chill Pod.
Insanely Chill Pod on Insta, and I think we are also
Insanely Chill Pod on TikTok as well.
Yeah. Didn't realize we had a uniform like
and
that.
Our TikToks are blowing up.
Blowing up, dude.
The Jimmy one has 500,000 views. We have another one with 500,000 views. We got one with 2.3 million views.
Yeah.
So
get all these to 2 mil.
Yeah.
And we're going to be posting more too. Like we want to post several times a week, and let us know what you want to see.
Thank you for joining us. Rate us on Spotify. Rate us on Apple thing. Leave a comment. Rate us in the comments. Leave a comment on Apple, Spotify, and make sure you vote 5 stars on the app and download the app and let us know.
Yeah. And vote on November 8th.
Oh, another thing. Yeah, vote on November 8th. Yeah. Yes, that's important. That's real. That's real.
That one too. Yeah.
And one more thing. If you want these episodes ad-free, they will be on teamgstudios.tv under the studios tier, not the TMG tier. So you'll have to sign up for that tier if you want these episodes ad-free along with every other show we do.
Yep.
I appreciate you. See you next time. Thank you.